Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. I have the face cam back. So I have the keyboard cam. So ready to go. Go, go. So today we are working on Angular 3 again. I've changed the Angular 3 renderer a couple of times, I guess several times now, 5 or 6 times now, and uh, test like I was testing things out and try to um try to come up with with a good approach and also more maintainable stuff like the inertia, the couple of inertia of versions of the Angular 3 renderer actually were a little rough. Like it comes out to thousands of lines of code, and it's not very maintainable. Like I went from using DOM as the source of truth, returning 3 objects directly, and all that stuff. Um, but it's tricky to get around the limitation of the Angular renderer. So today is probably the best, the not the best version, but the most um the version that I'm most comfortable with. You know what I mean? Well, it has some flaws. I'm gonna show you that flaws. It has some flaws, but it is maintainable because it's a lot less code. It's just that I learned that what kind of state that I need to keep track of inside of the renderer versus what state that I don't need. Um, so and also I went with the approach of I go with the approach of returning 3 objects directly instead of like using DOM, so that I don't render the DOM like useless DOM or useless like elements on the DOM tree. Um, and let Angular internal uh, like node uh, graph tree, whatever you want to call it. It's like a Angular VDOM thing, right? But it's not VDOM. So let Angular takes care of the internal things. If you look at this, uh, so this is the renderer, and I have some like stored variables. So I have ls, which is local state, and rs is renderer state. So renderer state is a state that the renderer needs to keep track of to do things. And inside of create element, you can see that I return 3 instances directly, except for a couple of cases. The first case is Happy New Year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. You too. So the first time I returned one of the cases that returned a DOM element is that if you use the NGT portal. So NGT portal is like a special concept in Angular in like 3JS or like React 3 Fiber, and I have not implemented the portal for this version of the renderer, so I'm gonna skip it. The second case would be there's only 2 cases, right? The entity portal or any other things, right? If it is a primitive, then I do some special things. If it is um, if it is like 3 objects that I can find inside of my catalog, then I will return that object. And so if you look at the DOM tree, you don't see it a lot. I can actually run one right now. Right, so now we can go to pause for the 200, and you will see that we have the scene here, right? And if you look at the DOM, there's like literally no DOM except for like Angular components. So it is very minimal in terms of what to put on the DOM tree, but it returns enough stuff to render to the three scene, and I still have like uh um events and all that stuff happening. Also, I have like model load. You can load external model, and you can still put that on the scene, and the code for it is pretty simple. You look at the scene component, right? So this is the code for the model. Use the NGT primitive, give it the R's like arguments, and pass in an array, an array, and it just use model and do NGT push on it. NGT push is like an async pipe, but it's simpler. Ông này phản bội React.js sang code Angular. Đâu, mình đâu có phản bội React.js đâu. Mình code Angular từ đó tới giờ mà. Right? And this is the main template where you have like anything that prefixed with NGT. It is like a 3JS thing, right? Without NGT or NGTS, it's just a component, right? And then you have like NGTS. Then you have this right here. This NGTS is Angular 3 provided compound components. So what does this mean is that if you look into the orbit controls, so the NGTS orbit controls will set up the orbit controls. Normally, if you set up the orbit control yourself, if you go into here, right? If you look at the constructor of the orbit controls, you actually have to pass in the camera if you want to set up the orbit controls yourself. With the NGTS orbit controls, I set it up for you. Right? Here, set controls, I grab the camera and stuff like that, and I set it up for you. And then I use the primitive again and pass in the R so that the primitive actually just the orbit controls under the hood. And then I have the NGT compound. I also set the NGTS orbit controls compound to true, which means that the NGTS orbit controls component is a compounded component on top of this NGT primitive, which is the orbit controls. So what this allows is that I can by to property, I can set the inputs on the NGTS controls, and the renderer will set that property on the NGT primitive, on the like underlying orbit controls. So if you look at to this the NGTS orbit controls here, I have auto rotate set to true, right? And I don't have the input of auto rotate, but it still works. You can see that the scene is auto rotating, right? This is the work of the orbit controls and compounded components. So the renderer like handles all that. All right. So what we're working on today is the remove logic. So if we look at the remove child logic, I only have like to do in here like handle other cases. Right now I have 3 parent and 3 child. So if I like, have an ngIf and all that stuff on the template and I remove it, or I turn like the ngIf off, things will be removed, right? So I need the handle the remove child logic. All right, 1 second. Okay, let's start. Actually, let's just go and see what error we're gonna see when we try remove stuff. Okay. If you look at the let me show you the code first. So you see right here, I have 4 cubes, and one of them has an ngF on it, and ngF saying ngF is bound to the show property, and show property is just a true property, right? And then I have like one of the cube has an output say cube click. So if I click on this cube, I'm gonna just toggle the flag show the false to true, true to false. So when I toggle it, the first cube should be removed, right? The first cube should be removed. Which is right. Actually, it's fine. Yeah, the first cube should be removed. And also, like these material stuff should be changed as well. Because one of them, I set the show to the is fun. So let's see what error are we getting. And I set the cube that can be clicked when you hover it is red instead of like hot pink. So if I click on this, we see some error. That see some errors. All right. Let's say parent remove child is not a function. Parent remove child is not a function. So if we look into here, we see that it's actually fall in the other cases. So let's just put a breakpoint and refresh to see what the parent and the child we getting. Oh, there we go. So the parent is a group, which is a Three.js class, and then child, the child is a cube. So in this case, what can we do? In this case, what can we do? I have some bunch of children. I have the parent. I obviously not keeping track of uh the parent of this, right? But the child actually has the parent on it, I believe. There's a parent node on this one. It should be. No, there's no parent node. So we cannot remove it. We cannot just remove it. So we need to think a little bit. So let's just go back here and let's keep this simple. We just comment this out. Oops. Comment this out. I will also comment these two guys out. And now we have only one left. I want to see what kind of pen child that is going through, what kind of renderer code go through to see why this node is not being added to the parent, like immediate parent DOM. Or I can maybe keep track of, maybe I can keep track of the 3 children as a state, right? And then just loop over it and remove it from there. So let's just go to create element and just step through everything. Right, first, this cube scene, so this is the root scene. So renderer just say, hey, you have the root, and just return a root scene object. Right here, this is the scene object that I created. All right, go renderer, blah blah blah. This is scene component. Type over. I see the group, right? You see the group. Then it will go through. Okay, not any of those cases. Okay, you here get a 3 tag, right? Which is group. Get the 3 name, which is group. Then trying to grab that from the catalog, and we can see that I have the group in the catalog. If I have it, I will create an instance of that group. Through this, go through that, blah blah blah. Return the instance. Now I'm inside of a pen child, right? And as long as I return a 3 instance and my parent is an instance of 3 as well, which is in this case it is, so its parent is seen and the child is group. I can, hey, I have the local state of the parent, I have the local state of the child, which means I am parent 3 and a child 3 as well. Let's do its thing. So the group has been added to the scene. Now it will go inside of the group content children. Let's see the cube. Go to the parent node. So at this point, so the way that Angular renderer works is that when it sees like a structure or directive, it will create a comment for it. It will just create a comment node for it on that first on that render phase, right? And then on the next phase, after chain detection run, so that all of your property bindings are updated, then we'll go back and check the directive. Right. So your directive, like an ngIf, has logic inside of it to do, oh, if this expression is true or false, right? If this expression is truthy, then the ngIf is gonna render whatever inside of it. So at the point when you call like create embedded view inside of the structure directive, then that's when Angular renderer gonna kick in, right? And it's gonna say, okay, I have a comment here, and I added its comment somewhere to like a parent, and I'm trying to get the parent node from this comment. If I find the parent node, then I'm gonna call insert before. So what you're seeing is actually, so you have like a div, right? You have like actually let's do a template. So inside of here you have like a div, right? Div, and then inside of here you have another div with the ngIf, and set this some expression, right? So what Angular is gonna render is actually, okay, it's gonna render the div, and then it's gonna render a comment, and this comment is for the ngIf, right? And then it stops, right? On the next run, actually on like when it chain detected, which means that when your some expression change, it's gonna kick off somehow, some way. You're gonna you might do it yourself, or some like events patched by Zone.js is gonna kick off chain detection, make some expression changed, right? That's when Angular is gonna come in and reevaluate your template. So now let's say that some expression has been turned to true, and then ngIf is gonna call the create embedded view to render, right? And if you're not familiar with structure directive, this syntax right here, this syntax is actually a shorthand syntax for this. But this right here is the shorthand syntax for this. You can write this long form yourself, like no one stops you, and it actually makes it easier to understand that the ngIf directive can like render the template later based on some expression, right? Right. So at this point, let's assume that some expression changed to true. Angular is going to come in and say, let's get the parent node of the comment, which give me the parent div. So give me the parent div, and then let's call insert before with the parent, with the div, with the new child and the comment, and the new child is the div inside of the ngIf, inside ng template. Right. So when you have like an ngIf render, you're gonna see something like this. So a div, right? Your div, and then the comment, which is like ngIf something something. So when you have like a structured directive, this is gonna you're gonna see if that structured directive ended up render your template, right? Okay, so we're at this point when Angular renderer is trying to get the parent node of the comment, which is a structured directive. Go in here, return that parent node, blah blah blah, insert before, all that stuff. Great. Now we add the cube. Now we add the cube. Go, 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 go. Nothing match here. So we're just gonna just return the create element from the DOM renderer, just like that stuff. Right now it will go inside of the cube template. We jump into the cube template. See the NGTS box. Gonna create that element. NGTS box, gonna go through it, blah blah blah. Now we're gonna append. Trying to append the NGTS box on the cube, and these two guys are just DOM parent, DOM child. So we're just gonna just append it and do some like state tracking. All right, now it goes to the box, go inside the box, and sees all of these like structured directive ng templates. So it's gonna create all of common stuff. Now it's inside the parent node. So I don't know what this comment is, so I get the state for it. And this has the parent of group, which means this is the comment of the cube. So I see that, return it. All right, you can see that, hey, new child. So Angular renderers try to insert the cube as the child of the group. They have the ref state, the parent state. I don't have it, so I just call append child on parent and new child. Oh, I missed it. Missed it. I feel like I need to keep track of like a parent DOM of like a 3 element so that I can pan it. Or else, how would I? No. I feel like I need to keep track of it to some degree. No, because we can go to that point. Actually, this point. And child, yeah, 3 parent and a DOM child. Yeah. Right, you can see that we inside of here a 3 parent, which is the group, and we have a DOM child, which is the cube. Of course, we're gonna have the renderer state of this, and at the parent. If my parent is Racine, which is it's not, right? I I then say, okay, when here, nothing to do. Return. Like at this point, I have I'm not keeping track of what the parent DOM or what the DOM that the 3 instance is on. Like I literally don't care. And I cannot just grab the parent. I cannot just grab the parent. So I think the only way is to keep track of the parent DOM inside of here somehow. So NGT is like a local state of any 3 objects, so I cannot probably keep track of it. Please can try to go back to the code and add that thing. So let's go to, I think it's going to be inside of type first. So it's going to be NGT instance local state right there. There's some things in here that I don't need. So like this one, I don't think I use it. Like I don't think I use it anywhere. Memoirs, not yet, rs handlers, all of this. Using, I have a parent. Let's also grab the parent DOM, and it's gonna be an HTML. Right, you always basically you always have it to a degree, but I want to set it to no first. Right, so it will be no at first. The renderer needs this to append DOM child. I don't think we need this, but let's just remove it. I'll return it for now. Primitive. This 3 instance is a primitive. Primitive. If this 3 object has any event, now do it. List of handlers to handle the events. Previous Rs. Attach information. We can detach as well as set. Previous attach. Previously attach information, so we can reset as well as clean up. Memories props. Already consumer set this by setting an attribute. Remove priority. Get a string. Component information. If this instance is being compounded upon shortcut to move this shortcut to remove object from this. Okay, so now we have parent DOM. So let's just go to instance, repair, add parent DOM, set to no. Okay, next is to go to the renderer. Renderer is it? Okay. So append child. Okay. So after we append parent, maybe we can check if parent equals to this dot they call collection dot root dot scene. Basically, we just do a quick check to see if this parent is the root scene. If it is, then we're gonna say, hey, COS dot parent DOM, you are going to be do this dot state call dot root dot DOM. That's it. That's just simple, very simple. And I think I would like to do the same thing inside of create element right there, and let's grab the scene ls, get local state of this dot state call scene, right, and then I do cns dot parent DOM will equals to element. So we can do that as well. Right, so we can have something. Next is to go back to the append child. So I have it. Now I have DOM parent with 3 child. So this is annoying. If I have parent and instance, let's say feel like I could just set it. You know, I think I just said it. Hey, welcome. Yeah, feel free to ask in Vietnamese or in English. If you ask in Vietnamese, then I will answer it in Vietnamese. Yep. So let's say if you're in here, then let's try to grab the COS dot parent dom. We'll go to the parent. No question asked. I think I have it right there. So let's merge. All right, like let's merge this. So CI that. Go here. Go here, right? And that. By the way, guys, if you haven't noticed already, I'm learning Vim. I'm trying to use Vim. So if you see some like novice, rookie Vim usages, let me know. Teach me Vim if you know Vim. So I'm learning Vim right now. If you can change some theme around here. Uh, let's see. I don't know. I think maybe this. Like I kind of like this. Right, so I have that and child and child. So all of this is trying to grab the instance, like three instances. So if you try to append back to the root, right? If you try to append back to the root, I don't like it. Thing is, um, so we only do that if it doesn't already have a DOM. So we go back to here, and of course, let's also check and this is still no. Right, so let's see how it runs. So we have that group, and we have the cube box. Oh, things change. Things change. So that got that here. The parent says the group. I have POS. POS should have a parent DOM of the cube scene. Um, next. Next. Now I have the cube, right, with the group. Now the cube should have the parent group. But it's just going, right? Wait inside. The basic material is gonna go through all this stuff again and again and again. Parent node, and the parent node. I don't have parent down this stage. I don't have this. Hmm. Interesting. How do we handle that? Because at this point, I don't have any DOM on this. It's not been added yet. Hmm. Add comment. I'm pretty sure at some box and point lost a lot. I kind of lost the comments. Oh, my webcam froze. Fix that. Webcam still stuck ass. So ah, that's weird because you know what? Let's go from the beginning. Let's remove all the breakpoint. Let's put a breakpoint on child on the insert before. Here. First is the y group and this count probably or so we can go through this one, right? Hey, blah blah, dump parent, uh, parent, parent. At this point, probably do all that, right? So let's maybe here. I don't know if we should do here or we should do here. So let's just say if POS parent DOM is not delegate the and child, or we can try and do this like DOM parent DOM child. Yeah, if this happened, we're just gonna call this with the POS dot parent DOM and the new child. What happened? Probably a I cannot because I don't have it. So if POS dot parent DOM, if this DOM is the state call dot root dot DOM, right? Then we're gonna oops. Gonna call this dot append child here, right? POS parent DOM with the new child. Else, we're gonna call I want this with this with the POS. about that? Let's see. Comment. Go in here. Grab. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, next. Have these. Out. Comment. Crazy. Next. Now we have the cube. Nothing crazy. Add smash and a comment. But I don't have the parent DOM. This comment is kind of like gone. Right. So this comment is basically gone. I don't have the box in here because I haven't been. It has not been processed yet. Say, because I think the box get resolved later. Just do whatever. We lose this next again. I think this. I think I don't have any code. Insert before. After. Oh, me kind of liked. Yeah, I don't want to store too many state. But if I have to store the state, just to keep track of the comment. Have that. Last. This on the geometry. Right, so now how box okay, on load box. We'll add that next. Look at the DOM. That box. Uh, mm, I feel like this needs a let's see if I have that. I still want. Oop. Oh, that this get to the DOM, right? Which is fine. Grab that. Grab that. Grab that. Grab that. Uh, next we got thing comment. Wait, what this comment? Comment. What this comment doesn't have? Oh, is this? Oh yeah. Why are you trying to get the parent node of the comment? Which here. Oh, yeah. I think this comment is thing. Then my mesh doesn't have. So it doesn't have parent DOM yet. So what I do with this comment, I don't know. What to do with this comment? I can store it. I can store it. And then later add it to parent when I have it. You know? So let's see. Let's see how it goes. Every time I try to adjust mic, the webcam comes crazy. Yeah, look at that. Um, got a parent. Of course, got the parent is the mesh, but I don't have the append is comment. The append is comment on. So there's another one. This one is the if else. So maybe I can store these comments. Look at that. Yeah. So the mass basic material stuff and child. New PLS, append, right? The new, this doesn't really have any DOM either. This is no. It doesn't really know. Common. I don't know what this common is. Probably for the geometry. And this is where I set the parent DOM on the local state. So maybe at this point I can try to, hey, do you have any comments, right? Have any comments left? Add it here, and let's do that stuff. So that as well. If like this match doesn't already have a parent DOM, yeah, then and that's this one is the geometry. There we go. So we have the geometry, and now it renders everything. You know, want to store all of that? We need to. Do we need to? So let's just remove. Let's just not do that for now. But remove chow. Right. Let's go here. Oh, it's put back. Thing is to put back at least this. Those two cubes. See, we have two cubes here. Remove. Okay, so the parent, of course, if I have a PLS, which means they have a parent 3. So let's do that. Okay, remove here if I have POS. If also, let's do this, POS and POS. 3 parent and child. Now this here is we only have to do handle later to return. Now here if POS dot parent DOM. I don't know what do I want to do. This return. We have. Whoops. Not being removed. It's gone now. It's gone from the DOM now. Moved. So I have to do something with it. I have to do something with it. What I can do? What can I do? So I have some old code, so I'm gonna look over here. Render code 2. So let's look at remove child. If that's the case, then we just remove them. If I loop through the old child. Oh, do I do looping? Ah, shit. Okay. If that's the case, then I would try to loop through the child, um, children. Right. What we can do here is, hey, stomp children, child as element, children. That e equals children dot name 1. Wow. 0. Ooh, a good O. A good O. Reverse loop here. Do child. Children dot item. If we don't have any dumb child here, just go next. Right. So what we're gonna do now is we would try to get the local state of this dumb child. Yeah, this is also hard because right. But then damn, this is tricky. This is tricky. Shit. Tricky as shit. Wow, this is tricky. Really, really tricky. Because I don't know, man. I had to get. There we go. Back. Wow, this is harder than I thought, man. Hmm. I really need to think it because, like, Angular renderer is really tricky. Um, for limited, we we might actually need to go back to render the useless DOM. They don't have any dimension or style. What are we trying to achieve? Okay, so we're trying to, no, not this. We try to handle the remove logic, right? And by removing, I mean when you have like an element under like a structural directive, so that it unmounted from the DOM, and it gives like a sense of like Angular way of doing things. Right? You hide things with an ngF, right? So here I have two cubes, right? And click on this cube should remove this cube because this one, when I click on it, it turns on a flag. And when that flag is false, then this cube is being removed because it is behind an ngF. So we're inside of a remove child right here. If you look at the information that the renderer is receiving, it is receive um the parent, which is the 3 object, and the child, which is the cube, right? It makes sense in terms of Angular template because if you look at the template, it's right here. So the parent is the NGT group, which is the group object, and the child is the cube. So the renderer actually makes sense, right? But we're going in here, we're saying, okay, you now have like a 3 parent and a DOM child, right? I can grab the parent DOM from the 3 parent because I keep track of it. I can just remove it right there. But now it has been removed from the DOM. If you look at the DOM, it now only has 1 cube, right? You see that? And now it has only 1 cube. But this cube is wrap around like a 3 object, which wraps around another 3 object. So at this point, I need to like figure out. Now I have a DOM children. DOM children is that NGTS box. All right. So now at this point, I need to figure out, okay, what the hell is going on here? What can I do with this NGTS box? Because we were still trying to remove this one of the mesh from the group. That's what we're trying to do. So yeah, you know. So I don't know. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Let's see. And sometimes you don't even have the parent DOM. Right? You don't. So let's look at this. So yeah, now I'm just like in infinity loop because I forgot to. Yeah, I forgot to set shit. Shit here. Right. So what I can do actually, let's try this. Let's try to grab the renderer state, right? Renderer state of the DOM child, which is the collection.get of DOM child. If I don't have it, let's see. If I don't have it, uh, let's just freaking continue it. Now, if I have it, if rs.type is a compound, right? And rs.type rs.instance or is instance rs.compile or dot instance. So if this is the case, then we're just gonna do start remove child again with the parent and the rs.instance. Now, this point, let's see, I have that. Let's say I don't have that. So I don't know. This still has like a bunch of shit inside of here. Because we might have a case. So this case I just handle is this case. So I have a cube, and inside this cube I have an NGTS box, right? So I have this information. What if I have a cube, but inside of this cube I just have an in. What the? Okay. What if inside of this cube, right? I just have NGT mesh. Now I don't even have any DOM children, but in fact I have some freaking like children in here, like 3 children in here. So I either again keep track of it inside of this DOM state, right? I don't know, maybe we have to do it. I honest with you, we have to do it. So let's see. Let's save now, and let's go to the state. Okay. I have compound state, but I also children. Let's do and unprocessed children's stuff from the Gaddafi and have entity dom state stands emit GT renderer state type, right? Type dom. Now I also have now I have children as well. So a map GT dom state at dom add children. Also for the compound, if state.children state.children equals state and have that children, which I can go back to the renderer and child dom parent be child and also do parent right here. Right here, if PRS dot instance new child, and I will do PRS dot children push new to do some stuff here. PRS type dom or PRS type compound and what compound state. Oh, wait, change the signature. This to entity. So I have that. Go back here. What? State. I'll fix this type later. I have time now, but I'll fix the type later. State or state. Also, we need to check. 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 Is object 3D. We only add that. So let's go back to the code. I think we broke something. Broke something. Okay. That. Move. Okay, so I'm in here. dumb child, got the R state, compound, remove child. Here, have the mesh, move that. So that's gone, which is fine. Uh, right, so um, I don't know. Right, but then if rs dot children, let's just check it later. Let's fix it later. Uh, let's do rx dot type dom or as type compound, right? And do a quick if as dot type children length. If we have this, you know what? I think we should just recursive thing here. Remove this. Do that. Here, let's just recursive. Right, so as soon as we out of the loop, we check cons. Grab the children renderer state here with state calm dot get of child. And here we can do if rs dot children course. PRS as anything any. Okay. What do you mean? Okay. Okay, okay, you happy? Okay, if this is the case, now we can loop cons. Now what? Pivot. What? I removed already. Okay, we can just try catches for now. You know, it's just acting. So it's just try catch this for now. Yeah, we just let's say hey console log. Error, error. But my state stay the same. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so put back all my shit. So hacky right now, which is fine. It's supposed to be hacky. Um, uh, let's see. We're gonna put these back. See if it actually work. You know. Ooh, ooh, it's work, man. It's actually working, which is amazing to me. Work shit. Let's put everything back. Let's put everything back. Let's dim this down a little bit. I don't like the fact that I have to keep track of everything, of so much shit. All this back. Right. Mono, I have that. Booster stuff. Okay. You know what? But I feel like I still want to. I kind of want to go back to the way where I use the Dom as the main approach. You know, like I render the Dom, but I prioritize if I have a parent. So basically, keep what I have right now, but like render the Dom. Yeah, I feel like I like that approach better. This actually works. Huh. You know, yeah, I think I will gonna go back to that approach. It has trade off for sure, but I kind of like that approach. If you guys want to see that approach, it's actually still live here. All right, so I have these, and look at the yeah. If you look at the DOM, you see Oh, oh, this works, I guess. What? What? Why don't render these? I feel like I render these, but I don't for whatever reason. Let's take a look. Oh, I returned 3 instances as well. Ooh, so this works? So much code though. Yeah, I think this should work. Have the node type and everything. Yeah, we store the 3 instances. Store the 3 instances. And then in append child, I'm looking at the O code. In append child, right? In append child. Wow, return that is not nice. In append child, what the fuck is append child? Okay, right here. So in append child, to have that 3 instances. Parent state, parent state. I keep track of the parent DOM, but I don't keep track of yeah, it's on a different scene. It's on a different screen. It's right here. I can bring it over. This is the O code, which has about 700 lines. It's not that bad. I can trim these down. Maybe I can like go back to this version of the renderer. Uh, and clean up some state, because this is like some old version. So I can go back to this version, clean up some state, and make it like use this logic, but with less state. So you see right here, if I just child no type, all of this like no type, right? Whereas with the current version, uh, it just say used right here, right? I say, hey, trying to get the local state of the parent and the child. If you have the local state, which means that you have you are a 3 parent, you have a 3 instances. If you're not, then you're not. But if I go back to this, then I need to like the renderer needs to keep track of the renderer needs to keep track of the of 3 instances. You see right here when I create element, where is it? Create element, yeah, right here. So when I create the element, if I have a 3 instance, I'm gonna add that 3 instances to the state collection, and I keep track of the state in the renderer. Which is okay, but not ideal. You know, you can actually go to here and we say, this is all the renderer state that I'm keeping track of. Renderer state, it's just a class that hosts stuff. So we go here and just keep track of state instead of here. But I'm not returning the DOM though. I still return the object, which is essentially what I'm doing. It's just now I'm keeping the state of 3 instances. The question is, should I? Yeah, like I like to keep the states that only the renderer needs inside the renderer. Right? You see that in like in this version types. You see in this version, like the parent DOM on the local state of the 3 instance, nobody needs this beside the renderer, which is I think a bad thing to put here. This is like a bad state to put here. It should just belong to the renderer. Right, I think, and also this right here, the compile state. This should also belong to the renderer, because like nobody needs it beside the renderer. And I feel like the priority as well, this one is also belong to the renderer. Like nobody needs this beside the renderer. Go to types now. This right here, that nobody uses beside the renderer. Right, as well as compile, nobody uses beside the renderer. Nobody uses beside the renderer. East3 as well, nobody uses beside the renderer. Like, I don't know why I need it, but apparently I need it. And parent DOM, only renderer uses this. So a lot of places where only the renderer needs it. And here's the same thing. He's like a yeah, this is kind of needed, but yep, like all of this can be gone and go to the renderer if I keep track of state of those state in the renderer instead. So maybe I'll do that, and maybe returning the DOM is not such a bad idea. I'll just attach 3 instances on that DOM if it is a DOM object. If it is an instance object, you know? And we can do that. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you guys in the next stream, which probably after New Year. So happy New Year. Bye.